When my friend Knock contacted me recently on an email and said, "Hey John, I've been offered a car for sale," I hesitated before I deleted it because he likes to offer me lots of tempting classics. He put me in contact with a young man who wanted to sell a Rover. That's all I knew about it at the time. So I said, "Go on then, give him my phone number." And I got a little phone call from Oliver, who told me about this, which is his Rover 200. Come with me then, because in this video I'm going to do something a little bit different, because I don't own this car. It's not my car, it belongs to Oliver, but he is selling it. And this is a test drive of a Rover 200. I know absolutely nothing about the Rover 200 as a car at all. To me, this is the Rover 25, and actually this is the predecessor, right? All I know is that it's got a K-series engine, it's got a CVT automatic gearbox, and it belongs to Oliver. For now, come with me then, let's test drive this, a Rover 200. So before I do take it out on the road, I am going to do my usual pre-purchase checks on a vehicle. There's things that I do which are cosmetic checks, that's the bit I know about, and then the mechanicals, and then we will take it for the test drive. First things first then, how does it look? Well, overall it's in relatively good condition, nice and shiny and red. I can't see any panels that don't match, and there's no major dints or dents, knocks and bangs. All the wheel trims appear to be there, and looking at the sills, well, this sill has got a little bit of rust coming through on there, but the wheel arches look nice and clean, don't get me wrong. I haven't been able to have a good old look around this car, especially because I don't want to take up too much of Oliver's time if I don't buy the car. The glass is all nice, and the exhaust actually looks like it's been replaced at some point, and I'm also looking out for paint differences. There's a bit of paint fade here which should probably come back with a little bit of T-cut, but apart from that, nothing major to worry about on the cosmetic side of things from the outside. How about on the inside then? Thanks Train for gate crashing my video. How about on the inside then? Well, apart from a bit of grime and gruft, it's relatively good, to be honest with you. I can't see any trim that's missing. These door cards are looking a little bit worse for wear. And one of the reasons Oliver is selling the car is, well, he's got a Great Dane. Yeah, he's got a big old dog, and actually it's quite dirty in the back with dog slobber and all sorts of stuff. But it doesn't have any major rips or tears, and with a good old scrub and a clean, I genuinely think that will come up nicely. The headlining has sagged. That does let it down, but I think that's standard on all Rovers of this age, to be entirely honest with you. One thing I also am not a major fan of is the fact that it has that CVT auto gearbox. I'm not a big fan of the CVTs, but what I am a fan of is the mileage. 30,680 miles. It's, well, hardly been anywhere, has it? All right then, cosmetically, so far, looking good. There's nothing I can see that I'm really concerned about on this vehicle, but let's take a look under the engine bay quick. Aha, there she is. Yes, the usual jokes here, please, about the K-series engine. I won't have any of them about putting the kettle on, etc, etc. One thing I am checking quickly is the coolant. It looks nice and bright, and I'm going to check for forbidden mayonnaise. Will this open? Nope, that won't open at this stage, which is a little bit of a problem. I'm going to have to sort of wedge that off. Let's take a look at the oil level quick. Well, it looks like it's got oil in it. And I'm not going to open the coolant cap because actually I have driven the car here. But yeah, underneath that, not looking too bad. I can't see any major issues, no belts looking loose, and it looks like it's had a brand new battery at some point. All in all, mechanically under the engine bay, looking good too. So from an initial spin around the car, cosmetically looking good, and under the engine bay looking good too, I can't see any major rust, rot or holes. But the problem is on these little test drives, when you go and look at a vehicle, you can't necessarily get properly up and under them. So what else have I done? Well, I've been on to Car Checker and checked out the MOT history of the car, and I can't see any historic rot or rust that the car has failed in. In fact, it's only ever failed on a couple of silly little things: tyres, lights, and the SRS light on the dash. Yeah, let's talk about that, because it currently has an SRS light on the dash. That's the seatbelt restraint system security thing, and you'll know more about that than I do, but it's currently on. And that could be a problem, because at the moment it's an MOT fail. To quote Dad, no problems, only concerns. That's what he says about the Rover 75. But that SRS warning light on the dash is a genuine concern, because it can be mechanically and cosmetically perfect, but the MOT does run out in 10 days. I have suggested to Oliver that he may be able to command a higher price for his Rover should he MOT it beforehand. But he doesn't want to do that. Does he know something that maybe I don't? The previous MOT failure was for the SRS warning light. Did it cause him a whole host of pain last year, and doesn't want to deal with it again? Could be something simple, couldn't it? These connectors under the seats are what control the SRS warning lights. Could it just be it needs a clean on the connector? Or could it be totally knackered and it's a whole world of pain? Come on then, let's take it for a spin, see how we get on, and see how I feel about driving this Rover 200. So test drive time then. That's not a good start. It's immobilised itself. It does come with 2 keys and 2 key fobs. I think I've got to turn off that before I start the car up again. A little bit of alternator squeal there, but all in all, good. Oh, at least the radio works too. Ash, girl from Mars. Heater is on. I'm going to put the heater on, because the thing with this car is I've been told it's had a head gasket replaced, but I want to just make sure that that doesn't need doing again. And the way I'm going to do that is by looking at the temperature gauge as I drive it. I've not got much fuel in it, so I can't really go bombing about too far. But let's go for a spin in this lovely little Rover 200 and see what it's like. So brief history of this car then. It is a 1997 Rover 200, as I say. It's got underneath the bonnet a 1.6 litre K-Series engine. Wah, wah, uh-oh, yeah. And it's a CVT auto box, something I know nothing about. My experience has told me that it's actually made by Volvo. Who knows if that's the case or not? I would expect Honda underpinnings, but Honda did sort of around this time leave the party when it came to Rover. It's had 3 owners. It's covered 30,600 miles from new and is red. That is pretty much all I know about this car. Oliver bought it about 1.5 years ago, where he paid, well, quite a lot of money for it. He paid a dealer for the car, a classic car dealer, and it was, up until that point, a 2-owner car. Owned and bought originally by a doctor in Derbyshire. It lived with him for about 20 odd years until he sold it to another lady. She then drove it for a good old few years, 9 or 10 years, and then it was sold to this dealership local to Cambridgeshire. Oliver went and purchased it, and he's since put 1,500 miles on the clock. What has he done to it? Well, not a lot. He's had some new ABS reluctor rings on it, that's what he's told me, and he's fitted a new stereo, which is a shame because I'm a fan of originality, as you know. But He knows, as well as I do, that this is quite a rare little beast and he wants it to go to a good home. Do I want or need a K-Series Rover 200? No, absolutely not. If you watch the channel regularly, you will know it's got the wrong badge on it for a start. It should have a lion on it, not a Rover badge. But I can't resist a bargain and I had to come and test drive it anyway. First things first, it's very nippy, it's very comfy. The cabin is in really good condition. Yeah, you can see here the headlining is sagging and there's a little bit of headline sag on the sunroof, which works, by the way. The sunroof works along with the electric windows, but it needs a little bit of a tickle inside, and with the fact that it's had a St. Bernard in the back, there's dog slobber all over the seats. Interior wise, well, it needs a little bit of a tidy up, but externally, as you will see in a minute, it's really good. It's really, really good. Considering I've never driven a Rover 200, and all I've ever driven is the Rover 75, well, it's nippy, it's fast. That 1.6 litre K-Series engine wants to go. It's had the head gasket done about 4,000 miles ago. Whether or not it needed it doing or it's just been done as a precaution, I don't know, but it's got every single piece of paperwork ever with the car, 2 keys, 2 alarm fobs, and is in really nice condition. So what am I listening out for on this test drive? Well, first things first, I'm listening out for knocks, rattles and bangs, and it's actually a very quiet ride. It's a comfortable place to be. Yeah, there's a little bit of a rattle from this window and there's a little bit of a rattle from down in the passenger's footwell, but it could also be stuff in the glove box. It's full of cassette tapes in there. They could be what's rattling. You know how they chitter and rattle in there. I'm not 100% certain, but I've been going over bumps, I've been going over potholes, and the ride is nice and smooth. There's no major clats or bangs or anything like that. It gets up to temperature nicely, and it's got, well, quite a good braking response. The brakes feel nice and tight. The handbrake feels good, and the CVT auto box is very quiet and nippy. Now, I don't know too much about these CVT autos, like I say, but the way I understand is it's sort of a belt and does this sort of thing, and when I've been pulled up at traffic lights, it wants to go. But I'm on a back road now. I can quite comfortably get up to 60 miles an hour down here because I know these roads like the back of my hand. And there I am, sitting comfortably at 60 miles an hour on this little knocky, twisty, windy Lincolnshire back road. And it's not uncomfortable. It's not a bad place to be. It's, well, a bit like a go-kart. It wants to go. Come on, little Rover. Put that 1.6 litre engine to good use. And I'm going to now do something I don't normally do, which is an emergency brake. Are you ready? Brake, 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 brake. Oh, the brakes are nice and responsive. In fact, my stuff that I had on the passenger seat has gone flying into the footwell. But I didn't get pulled to one side. I haven't got a smell of burning either. I've had a look under the engine bay, and we'll have a look at the engine bay in this video, but I can't see anything untoward. No major oil leaks. There is, however, a slight little bit of oil leak on the top of the engine cover. I'm hoping that that is from where it's been filled up and there's a little bit spilled, because underneath, well, I've had a quick look, it doesn't appear to be leaving oil on the floor. There is an elephant in the room, however, and that is a warning light on the dash. The SRS light is currently on the dash, and that is the seatbelt restraint system thing. I've had a look at the previous MOT history, and that light was on. That is what caused it to fail last time. Underneath the seat where I'm sat and on the passenger side is a little connector that I know about on these Rovers. Same with the 75. They sometimes get damp and moisture in them, throwing up a fault. But if it's not that connector that's causing an issue, and it is something deep within here, that could cause me a whole world of pain. And at the moment, this car is not going to pass an MOT. It's due an MOT in less than 30 days. But at the moment, with that SRS light on, that's a fail. And that's going to cause us big problems if I do buy this car. And also for Oliver, if he wants to sell it, well, that's a little bit of a downside. And actually, I've had the discussion with Oliver, why don't you put an MOT on it and then try and sell it, because it'll be worth more money. I think he's fell out of love with it just a little bit and just wants it out the way so he can focus on his other car which he's got, which is a Hyundai i10. And I'm all about that too. Anyway, it drives nicely. I'm going to take it for a good old spin through the Lincolnshire countryside, doing 10 old miles or so. Then I'm going to probably make Oliver an offer. So you've seen that it's great fun on country roads, but I'm going to head into the town centre to see what that CVT box is like, sort of stop-start at slow speeds. It works well at power and it works well at speed, but I'm getting warm with the fans on now. It's just started to rain as well. The changeable weather here in Lincolnshire. Let's see, oh, at least the wipers work. See what it's like sort of driving at 30 miles an hour. Comfortable. Washers and wipers work. That's good news. So now it's raining, I'm not going to open up the sunroof, but I am reliably informed that it works. And I'm going to take Oliver's word for it. Well, after throwing it round the back roads for a good old 10 miles or so and driving through the town, which I'm doing now, the temperature needle is sat bang on sort of 45 degrees. It's bang where it probably needs to be, which indicates to me that hopefully there is not a head gasket fault with the car. Yes, it's a bit of a ticking time bomb, but it's been done and I hope it's been done well. I wish I had a ramp, because I would probably say to Oliver, let's get this up on my ramp. You might be saying, John, why are you being so picky over a few £100 for a Rover? Well, I don't need a Rover in my life, remember, ladies and gentlemen. If this was a Proton, I would have bought it without seeing it. But it's a Rover, and I'm trying to do my cunning plan. Will I get away with it? That's the question. The rain on the roof sounds very tinny. It sounds very hollow on the roof. Oh, I've put my lights on and now I've got the illuminated orange dash. And it actually looks very cool. One thing I don't like about this CVT box is when you pull up to traffic lights, when you are stopped and you put your foot on the brake pedal, it always seems to want to just keep going and going and going and going. And so you have to change it into neutral and it's a bit clunky. Up and down all the time in stop-start traffic on this CVT box. Am I doing something wrong there? Would you just leave your foot on the brake? Because it seems to want to churn, churn and churn. Or maybe that's something wrong with the car. I know nothing about CVT automatic gearboxes. From what I've been told, they're not Honda derived. They are Volvo derived. That must be a good thing. Yes? I have an irrational fear about this gearbox going wrong. Driving through town, how many people are going to stop and admire the Rover 200? Well, probably none. The things you see in Bostonia town centre, as I drive past the Bulgarian shop, the Lithuanian shop, the Eastern European shop, and the 17 Turkish barbers. Up and over the speed bumps, nice and quiet through town, no major issues going over there. And what I like to do is just let the car sort of roll in, up and over. A little bit of brake squeal there, but nothing I'm too concerned about. Up and over, there we go. Nice. The only noise I can hear is the key sort of bashing against the steering column. Bit of a squeak from the larger gentleman that sat in this chair, but apart from that, at slow speed, nice and quiet. So as we leave the town centre, that CVT auto box kicking in nicely. It's very responsive, the car. It's like a little go-kart. Where am I going to point it? There. Where's the car going to go? Well, exactly where I point it. Slam the brakes on, it slows down straight round this corner, and you devil, it is like a little go-kart. Holy moly! I took that corner pretty much at 30, and it just went round these corners. And again, I'm doing 30. Let's say hello to this Rover owner. Rover 45 just gone past me, and he waved at me and flashed his lights. People with distinction are recognising the car, recognising just how lovely the Rover 200 is. I ask you this genuinely, when did you last see a Rover on the roads that wasn't at a car show? When did you last see someone that was daily driving an early Rover? Not a Rover Metro, they've all died out, right? They've rebadged it, you fool. I see an odd 75 around here, and like I've just seen a Rover 45. But I can't think of the last time I actually saw someone driving a Rover 200, or a 400, or a 600, or an 800. When did I see a Tomcat being used, or a GTI? Or even a ZR? We made them in this country. Where have they all gone? Because there's one thing I'm going to say. People will talk about build quality. This is built incredibly well. Yeah, the headline is sagging, all right, fine, I get it. The door cards are failing, I get it. But the seat is good. The engine feels great. The cabin quality feels good. This isn't thrown together in the jungle. This would have been built in Longbridge, don't you know? The Midlands' finest. As I return the car back to where I found it, I'm going to make Oliver an offer. It's not going to be anywhere near what he wanted because of that SRS light and a few other niggles that I've got in the back of my mind. Don't forget, I don't need a Rover 200, but I am going to explain to him what the plan is. And if he accepts that offer, then great. I'll have a Rover 200 to add to the collection for now. If he doesn't accept the offer, then I'm very grateful that I got to drive this marvellous little Rover 200 that I think is genuinely worth £700 or £800 of anyone's money. It's handling these potholes really nicely, and it's put a smile on my face. Dare I say it, it's the best Rover I've ever driven. It's a good little car. There it is then, back to where we started, and I am genuinely surprised how well and how lovely this little car drove. The test drive was incredible. Brakes seemed fine, no major knocks, rattles, bangs, anything like that. The gearbox is nice and responsive, and it's very fast. A very fast car for its time, and it goes nicely. I do genuinely like it. The only thing I'm concerned about is that SRS light on the dash. And I'm going to be honest with Oliver about that. That does concern me, the fact that it's got 10 days left on the MOT, and I'm trying to commit the perfect crime. Remember, I don't want my dad anywhere near this car, so I don't want him to have to do anything. I can do the basics. I can do an oil change. I can do an air filter change. I can change the coolant. I can probably do brakes if necessary. And I can pump the do things like pump the tyres up, etc., and give it a good old clean and polish. That's my department. But anything else that needs doing is well above my pay grade, so to speak. So I'm going to really have to rely on being able to probably try and diagnose and fix that SRS fault myself. But I am contemplating taking a risk on this car. Yep, I've decided I am going to take a risk on it and make an offer to Oliver. He has given me a price that he wants for the car, which is just under £1,000. I'm going to make him an offer taking into account the very short MOT, the fact that there is a little bit of rust on those back sills, the fact that it's a CVT auto and I don't necessarily want that. And it's a 5-door, which from what I can gather is undesirable. I'm going to make an offer. He's going to probably think about it, but I think this could be a good car. I'm not sure if I'm trying to convince myself. Well, there you have it then. What a fantastic experience driving that around the Lincolnshire back roads. I've had a good look around the car. I've had a good old chat with Oliver, and he bought it, like I've said, about a year and a half ago. He needs a bigger car now due to his dog. Do I need a Rover 200 in my life? No. Do I need any more cars in my life? No. But have I fallen in love with this little car? Yeah, kind of, a little bit. It's given me an idea, and this is the plan. Dad is on holiday for the next 2 weeks. Can I commit the perfect crime? Can I test drive, buy, fix what needs fixing, MOT and sell this little car in 2 weeks? Well, that's what I'm going to do, because I have made an offer on this vehicle. Will it be accepted? Well, we shall soon find out. Oliver is currently thinking about it, but it may be that this Rover 200 is coming to the channel very soon. If not, if he doesn't accept my offer and we don't complete the sale, then at least I can say I've driven one, and it was a genuine, fantastic thing to drive. Anyway, let me know in the comments down below. What do you reckon? Should I add this little Rover 200 to my collection, or do you think I'm going to be buying a pup and not be able to sell it within the 2 weeks and get an MOT on it? Don't forget to like, hype, subscribe, do all the usual stuff to stay up to date. Until next time, have a great day. See you later. Goodbye. As ever, thank you for watching this video. Dad and I have selected a couple more videos for you that we think that you might like. They're here now. Just give them a click to watch them. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so. It means a lot to us. Thank you.